Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we are going to talk about how to counter the House Republicans and their social media strategy. It's something that we've talked about on the channel before, and I've got a question about it that's very direct, and I think there may be some people missing the point. So, Bo, you've talked about the House Republicans viewing social media engagement as a sign of electoral successes when it isn't. What you haven't told us is how we counter it or stop it. I'm what you would call a liberal, not a leftist, and have no idea how to react. I just get mad and post. But isn't that what they want, to own the libs? How do we stop them? What do we do step by step? Okay, so if you've missed previous conversations about this, the Republican Party, particularly the branch of the Republican Party, the MAGA Republicans that are actually in control of the House now, they equate social media engagement with electoral success, despite 3 failing elections based on this strategy. They've deployed it 3 times, and it has failed 100% of the time. Okay? But it does appear that they are going to continue with this strategy. I mean, they're putting the space laser lady who thinks Clinton took out one of the Kennedys and who I think they did a speaking thing with Fuentes on the Homeland Security Committee. They're putting a woman who has theories so absurd that Alex Jones would debunk her on the Homeland Security Committee. These are not serious people. They're there for social media engagement. It certainly appears like they are going to double down on that strategy to the extreme. You get mad when they do it. Yeah, get mad. That's fine. Get mad and post. Explain to people that Biden isn't sending the FBI to come after Granny's gas stove. That's fine. And yes, they will view that as owning the libs. That's fine. How do you stop them? You don't. You can't. If they commit to this course of action, they have committed to it. More importantly, don't interrupt them. They're making a mistake. They are making a mistake. Yes, it will energize their base. However, because of changing demographics and their faulty leadership during COVID, they can't win with just their base. They need the centrists and independents. And this rhetoric alienates them. They've had 3 election cycles prove this. So, what do? Have some milk and M&Ms. Counter the rhetoric, mitigate the harm caused by the rhetoric, and plan the legislative agenda for 2025. I mean, yeah, that's partly a joke, because if they do double down and take this to the extreme, yeah, they're going to lose gloriously in the next election. The House Republicans very well may cost Republicans the House, the Senate, and the presidency. That seems really likely, because it does appear that they are set on that course and plan to take it even further. It's not going to work. The other reason I said plan the legislative agenda for 2025 is because those independents and centrists, yeah, they're alienated by the rhetoric. But you also need policy to get them to show up. You need to give them something as an alternative to space lasers. It shouldn't be that hard. That's what you do. And be there to support the people who are going to be othered by this rhetoric. Because in all likelihood, they will continue to go after different identities and orientations. That's going to be their scapegoat. They see that as a winning strategy. It certainly doesn't appear to be one, but that's not going to stop them from trying. And that rhetoric can cause real harm to those communities. So push back. Let the politician think that they own the libs, but don't let that rhetoric spread. stay in the fight. But as far as stopping them from doing this, you're not going to be able to. They will continue down this road until they realize it's going to lead to failure. They have 2 years to come to the conclusion that the last 6 years or last 3 election cycles weren't a fluke. If they don't realize that, they'll just continue doing it. From an electoral standpoint, there's nothing, you actually wouldn't want to interrupt them in this. From a moral standpoint, you're not going to be able to actually stop them unless they choose, and your only real move is to mitigate the harm that wild rhetoric is going to cause to people. So be ready to lend a hand. This is one of those moments where it certainly appears that the Republican Party has already adopted a losing electoral strategy very early on. It runs the risk of real harm in your community, but it's not a winning strategy. It hasn't been for 3 election cycles, and it certainly appears that they're going to take it to the extreme, which will probably make them lose even more. And much of their base may lose their energy as they come to realize that they were duped by a bunch of baseless claims. From the election standpoint, they're setting up the Democratic Party to win. From your friends, your neighbors, there's real harm that could impact them that you have to mitigate. But your current steps, getting mad and posting, defeat the rhetoric. But that's really all you can do. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.